Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2022 Sim Experience SA BMW M2 CS Cup Season 1, proudly sponsored by Alwin. Alwin Glass make automotive grade glass and aluminium. You can head over to www.alwin.co.za to find out more or inquire about any requirements that you have. And I'm your host and commentator Dennis Mitchell, and your broadcast director is Sim Experience SA. We're coming to you live tonight for round 7 of our 8-round championship from Poland tonight, from Poznan in Poland. The track's name is Tor Poznan. Fantastic flowing track, very similar to those that might know a more famous track like Brno. It's very similar to Brno in its nature. So really fantastic track. And as I've said, tonight is round 7 of an 8-round championship, after which we will then have a 8-round Porsche Super Cup championship, and following that we will then have season 2 of the 2022 BMW Cup, which will have a completely separate champion crown. So the champion from this round will not be the same champion necessarily for season 2. Right, so let's head over to the timings. We've come in a little bit early just to give you guys a bit of a feel for what's happening in practice, for the last few minutes of practice. So the times have been tumbling pretty fast as the final day has concluded. The fastest time posted so far was just before this session by Andre Duppenaar doing a 43 dead, which is the fastest time I've seen, and I believe that's the fastest time posted on the server at any point either. So that is a pretty incredible time there. So Andre has definitely got to grips with the track. And he didn't feel like he was doing so great with it, but he's clearly doing great. He's got an amazing pace at the moment. Although currently only sitting in 3rd place, but you can see how close it is at the front there. 43.2 for Chris, a 43.3 for Timo, and a 43.4 for Yandre at the moment, and a 43.5 for Jason at the moment. So very close. And then Jandre de Toy on a 43.7, so incredibly close between the top 5 at the moment. While we see all the times for practice as we're about to head into qualifying, let's have a look at our season standings at the moment. Right, so at the moment in the championship lead we have Jason Underwood, who received a small penalty for some of his incidents in the previous round, and Mick Abrams in 2nd place, also receiving a few penalties for some incidents. Chris Collison in 3rd place. Andre Duppenaar has moved his way up to 4th place. Timo Smith dropping down to 5th due to not being present at the previous round, but he's here tonight. Herman Nivot is now 6th place. Well, he was 6th place last week, but staying in 6th. Andre Hildebrand maintaining his 7th. Ross Human moving up from 10th place to 8th. Bjorn Buchner also moving up into the top 10 now in 9th place, and Peter Geldenhuys dropping down to 10th place from 8th place. So unfortunately Peter hasn't been in the last 2 rounds. He's definitely had some good pace before he was in the last rounds that he competed in. Right, so now let's head off to live timing and see how everyone is doing at the moment. So not much is changing at the moment. Timo is still 2nd from Chris. Jandre is still 3rd. Jason is still 4th. Jandre is still 5th. Bjorn currently sitting in 6th place. Some pretty amazing pace by Bjorn. I know some tracks he sort of more towards the back end of the middle of the pack. Seems to be more towards the front end of the middle of the pack tonight, so definitely liking the flow of this track. As we see his fantastic Team Gunston colour scheme. One of my favourite liveries in the championship. Unfortunately my favourite overall livery isn't with us at the moment. That was Mario Claessen's. I really loved his emergency 24-hour medical livery. That was really fantastic. So 12 drivers at the moment present. I'm not sure if any more will be rocking up throughout the practice session or possibly as qualifying starts. I think we're in for a cracking race tonight. This is a really awesome track. This created by a modder that goes by the name of Feels3, who actually currently works for Studio 397. At the time of creating these mods, he was a private modder. He was then picked up by a race department, sorry, not race department, race room, and he worked for them for a while, but he's currently working for rFactor's Studio 397 and creating their tracks for them now. So it's a top quality track, considering this track is 7 years old already. The amount of detail placed in it is absolutely superb. This track, as well as the Croft that we have in rFactor, are two of his creations, and they are both absolutely amazing in the detail that they provide. Driving them and the feel that you get while driving them is really superb, which is why it has made the cut for our championship. It doesn't have the latest, greatest, flashiest visuals, which some of the new tracks have, that actually makes it look a lot nicer. This still looks good, but it drives really amazing. As we see, our session leader at the moment, Chris Collison. Alright, so we're going to head off to a quick ad break, and then we will be back with you shortly with qualifying. Alright, and we are back. It was a bit quicker than I expected, and apologies for the wrong video that I had finger trouble with there. And tonight we finally see Timo in his skin correctly. That's been a bit of a problem. He hasn't been able to load his skin correctly, so it's finally loaded. And you can now see the Minions color scheme. Right, so 15-minute qualifying session, which will be followed by a 30-minute race. No mandatory pit stops are required. The race time is set to 3 p.m. with a 3 times accelerated time on, so effectively the race would finish at 4:30, so the sunset would hopefully be playing a little bit of a part by then. So let's go on board with Chris for a bit and see what it looks like. Right, while he's taking it easy, let me reintroduce this, since I forget that it's not qualifying and some spectators only joining us now. So I remind you that I am Dennis Mitchell. I will be your commentator. Your broadcast director is Sim Experience SA. And welcome to the 2022 Sim Experience SA BMW M2 CS Cup Season 1. Proudly brought to you by Alwin Glass, Alwin Automotive Glass. You can head over to www.alwin.co.za and inquire about any automotive glass or aluminium. This, of course, is round 7 of our 8-round championship, coming to you live from Tor Poznan in Poland. Next week will be our final round, coming to you from Suzuka West, which is, of course, the main Suzuka circuit in Japan. Right, so let's head to the live timings then. Now that we all know exactly where we are and who I am. So 12.5 minutes left. Currently 11 drivers are on track. The only driver that's not on track at the moment is Ross Human. In practice, Ross and Rian are once again extremely close as they were at the previous round. So hopefully they're going to have a really good race tonight. And of course, one of the other drivers that was extremely close to them last week was Andre Hildebrandt. And he slots right in behind Rian once again. So the three of them are likely to have a really good race tonight. Genre de Toy, Chris is going for a fast lap. Everyone seems to be putting in fastest times at the moment. Timo's got the fastest first sector. Genre de Dippenar's got the fastest middle sector. Currently there it's showing that Chris has got the fastest, but he's actually, if I look at the live timings, he's actually been beaten. And Genre de Toy puts the first time on the board of a 43.8. It's a really respectable banker lap. See Timo coming across the line, putting a 1:43.1. That's, I think, Timo's fastest lap so far. I believe that is the second fastest lap set at all on the server. And I think the only person that's beaten that is Genre Duppenaar, sorry. And as I say that, he does just beat it with a 43.023. So heating up at the front, extremely close at the front. Surprisingly, Chris is only almost 8/10 off the pace at the moment. And our championship leader, Jason Underwood, currently sitting in 11th place with a lap time that does not represent his pace. Bjorn Buchner currently sitting in 5th place. That's a pretty solid time for him, with Andre behind him, then Rian, then Herman, then Peter Murray, then Dani Stander, then Jason, and then Ross Human, who seems is on track at the moment. Andre Duppenaar actually on to improve on this lap, even though he's come across some traffic, which I believe he's now lost a bit of time there. Looks like got a bit of a slide on, and Timo as well. A quarter of a second up in the first sector, but unfortunately 4/10 down in the middle sector, so with the potential of getting into the 42s tonight. With the track slowly ramping up now with all the drivers on, I imagine the times are going to improve, but still the 42 is pretty fast. Let's see what Timo's final sector can do. Unless it's really spectacular, I don't think he will improve on this lap, and I believe he did not. He did a 43.147 on the last lap, so actually not too far off his worst, or best I should say. And the Toy a bit slower in the first sector. The yellow, green means it's a personal best, purple means it's fastest overall. So currently it's looking like Andre Duppenaar is our pace setter for tonight. Himself and Timo currently the two of the fastest times. The biggest surprise is that Chris Collison and Jason Underwood aren't yet able to challenge him. We're waiting for their times to come in. Chris has put in a time just shy of half a second slower at the moment than Andre. But Chris is capable of being faster than that, so maybe he just had some traffic or just made a slight mistake, so I'm sure he's capable. As we see Timo making a slight mistake there. Once again, almost 2/10 up in the first sector and then slower again in the middle sector. So Timo is definitely capable of getting a top time if he can put it together. Let's have a look at Bjorn at the moment, a personal best in sector 1. Let's see if he's able to improve his time. Personal best in sector 2 as well. Currently fighting for best of the rest on this tonight. Looks like he's chasing down Dani Stander at the moment, so he's got a nice target at the moment. back to Bjorn and see if he can finish the lap. And Bjorn did indeed improve. He got a 44.844. As Jason Underwood is now popped up into 4th place with a 43.626. As we see Rian van der Westhuizen, and it looks like he's had an incident coming into the pits. I'm not sure what's happened there. Never seen that happen before. Perhaps a hardware failure or something. But he's come into the pits extremely fast. He's likely to have a drive-through penalty for that, which he's going to have to serve now. It might otherwise carry over into the race. Right, let's head back to the main competitors at the front, which at the moment the times are much the same. It's only Jason that has caught up into 4th place. So perhaps it's time just to say hello to all our YouTube members. Willem Brown, hello Willem. Yes, to you too. Yes, thumbs up, yes. And Caroline Yost, hello and welcome. Good to have you supporting Yandre tonight. Hopefully I got your name correct this time. And the last time I actually called it backwards because you've got it backwards there, but I believe it's Caroline Yost, so welcome. I'm sure you're very proud to see Yandre at the top at the moment with that fantastic time. Of course, Timo has now set a personal best in Sector 1 once again. Let's see if Timo can carry it through in the middle sector, which seems to be what's causing him his headache. Once again, losing 6/10 in the middle sector. Perhaps he's trying a little bit too hard in the middle sector. But looking good the way he's throwing the car in lots of confidence. Definitely a kind of track that encourages you to throw the car in a lot harder and a lot faster. And feels very rewarding when you get it right. Not likely to improve that middle sector of his, and it did not. So Jason Underwood, can Jason improve? Jason, the big surprise at the moment, only in 4th place. Okay, Timo 2/10 up in Sector 1 this time. Let's see if he can now come through with it. Looks like he's catching some traffic, which I'm not sure who that is. Minion's color scheme definitely seems to be helping Timo with his pace. Love how he's just throwing the car and fighting the slide. Getting that sector a little bit better, keeping it on track. It looks like he's very slow in the middle sector. I'm not sure if that's caused by the traffic or if that's just by him struggling. He seems to be struggling on a regular basis in Sector 3. Managing to get past whoever that was. I'm still not sure who that is. I believe that was Herman Nivert that was being passed there by Timo. So 2.5, well, almost 3 minutes left. So the battle between Ross Hume and Andre Hildebrandt and Rian van der Westhuizen is currently being led by Ross Human. Of course, last week we also had Bjorn Buchner in the battle with them, and Bjorn is currently sitting in 6th place ahead of them. So we now see Chris Collison stepping up into 2nd place, 0.060 behind Yandre Dupenal. So that's extremely close. The top 3 covered by 0.082. So Timo looking like he could improve, but just not able to do it, and as a result has actually dropped down from 2nd as opposed to climbing up to possibly 1st. Is now sitting in 3rd place. So we have Team 4 above racing in 2nd and 4th at the moment. PZN Panel Beaters in 1st place. Minions in 3rd place. Chris 0.0004, maybe I said 0.004 off his personal best in the 1st sector, so that's now the urinal there. Let's see how his middle sector fares. The middle sector is a little bit further down, almost 4/10ths down in the middle sector. And the lap times are so close, you're not likely to improve. As Yandre is now 1.5 up in the 1st sector. Will Yandre be the first one to hit the 42s? Slightly wide there, but he might not have lost too much momentum. Yandre, one of our real world racers that we have. Of course, we have several real world racers with us. Yandre is a rally driver. Five tenths down in the middle sector. That's a shame. After such a fantastic 1st sector. So it's not looking like anyone's going to break into the 42s tonight. Everyone's coming close, but you see Peter Murray losing it slightly there. And there he goes. So Yandre, I believe, just got the checkered flag, so not quite making it for another lap. And we see Timo Smith now on for a personal best, but also not quite enough. Backing out of it. So it looks like pretty much everyone is done apart from Jason Underwood, who is on a good 1st sector at the moment. Can he do anything at the moment? It's currently sitting in 2nd place. I hadn't even noticed that. Look at that, the top 4 drivers covered by 0.060. That is incredible. You don't get much closer than that for the top 4. 0.032 for 2nd or 1st. 0.057 to 3rd, 0.060 to 4th. So Jason unfortunately having a lousy middle sector, 2nd off, so that will be the end of that lap. Ronald Tor, I believe, is still on a lap, but I think he's coasting at the moment, so that's the end of it, and I believe that's the last driver that's still on track. So let's head off to another ad break and we will catch you shortly. Right, welcome back everybody. You see everyone currently waiting to jump to the pits. Sorry, jump to the track. We have a nice flyover of the track. So before everyone gets going on their flying lap, let's have an introduction. So, of course, you're watching the 2022 Sim Experience SA BMW M2 CS Cup Season 1, which for some reason the overlays is not showing up. Let's see if we can at least get a starting order to show up here. For some reason we seem to have lost our overlays. Right, so here we have our starting order. Leandro Dippenaar in first place, taking pole position from Jason Underwood, from Timo Smit and Chris Collison. Jean-Ray Dutoy in 5th place, Bjorn Buchner in 6th place, Ross Human in 7th place, Andre Hildebrandt in 8th place. In 9th place, Rian van der Westhuizen, in 10th place, Herman Nieuwert, 11th place, Dani Stander, and in 12th place, Peter Murray. And just to let everyone know, this is, of course, round 7 of the Sim Experience BMW M2 CS Cup Season 1, coming to you live from Tor Poznan in Poland. The drivers are getting ready on the grid. Our timing towers ready. Right, as we get ready now, 10 seconds to go. And it's green, green, green. Right, so hopefully now we have a bit more. The overlays are at least showing up correctly, which they now are. A bit of a oopsie there with that for some reason. Right, so Jean-Ray Dippenaar leading now from Jason Underwood, from Timo Smit, and Jean-Ray Dutoy up to 4th place at the moment. So Chris having a bad start. Björn van der Veste is having a great start up to 5th place. Donnie Stunder in 6th place at the moment. Peter Murray is 7th. So it looks like we've had some kind of incident at the beginning. Bjorn Buchner is 9th. Ross Human is 10th. Andy Hildebrandt 11th. And Herman Nivert is in 12th place at the moment. So I'm not too sure what happened. I was trying to sort out the little glitch with the overlays there. Welcome to Lynn Sevenster as well in the comments saying go Jason and Chris. So good support there for Jason and Chris once again. Good to have you back, Lynn. Alright, so Timo looking for a move on Jason at the moment, sitting right behind him nicely here. And we'll look up the inside. Cutting off there, taking the racing line. Late apex in that corner. Not the easiest of tracks to pass on. Right, so can Yandre pull away and get his first victory of the season? Definitely showed promise before, things unfortunately didn't go his way. So now he's got the likes of Jason and Timo on his rear end trying to stop him. On the back one we saw Jean-Andre Dutoy making a small mistake, running onto the grass. Lost a little bit of ground there. Let's see what's happening behind him, since we have Björn van der Veste is with quite a nice clear gap currently on Donnie Stunder. Donnie Stunder with Chris Collison behind him, and Donnie making a mistake, getting quite a drift there. Well held, Donnie. Wow. Unfortunately that just left the door open for Chris, and he just said thank you very much. Peter Maria has now moved up a spot as we see Timo dropping down the grid. What has happened to Timo? Oh dear, has Timo ended up in the barrier? Timo has got himself stuck. I believe that's going to be a DNF for Timo, which is such a shame because he's had such good pace. Oops, stuck there. Requires moving slightly, but I don't think he's going anywhere. Stuck on the embankment there, so that's the end of Timo's race, unfortunately. Alright, so once again we have one getting up to the inside. I believe that was of Peter Murray. So Ross Human now making his way through as well. So Ross following Bjorn through at the moment, making his way back up. So whatever happened at the start that cost a few drivers some places, they're working their way forward. The driver that has benefited the most so far has been Bjorn van der Veste, and currently sitting in 4th place. He's going to have Chris hounding him very shortly, I'm sure. Buchner now challenging Peter Murray. Buchner looks like he's maybe made a mistake there, because he was ahead of Ross Human, maybe running wide somewhere. So Jason Underwood now chasing down Andre Dupinot. So lots of action happening throughout the field. Turning a little bit too early there. Jason turning a little bit too late. Bjorn making a move there. Move on Peter Murray, I believe. So we'll now have Donnie Stunder Ross Human and then Donnie Stunder in front of him. So Donnie Stunder currently sitting in a solid 6th place. dropping into too low a gear there. For some reason rear on the skin not loading properly, so we can see it on the overlay but not on track. Fastest first sector for Andre Duppenaar on this lap. Russell all over the back end of Donny's Thunder. He's looking everywhere he can. On board now with Ross and the Team America's bonnet there. Or if it's Team America, it might be the hood. It looks like he's got a slight drive, bit of drive. When we head up the inside here into turn 1. He will indeed. Will he make it stick? Oh, Donny runs slightly wide and onto the grass. So Ross getting past there and Donny making a small error. Ross will now have to chase down Ren van der Westhuizen once again. And they have a repeat of last week's final laps with that epic battle that they had. So Bjorn Buchner is slowly following them through as well. Bjorn currently in 7th place, ahead of Peter Murray now. And with Donny Stander having made a mistake, he's now down to 9th place. Surprisingly, Andre Hildebrand hasn't made his way forward yet. See if Timo is actually still driving, because it's not showing that he's got a DNF, but he's actually still stranded here. Is he still trying to... He's still trying to get out. Jason and Andre still sitting extremely close, just under 3/10 between them, or it looks more like a 10th between them at the moment, so I guess that was as they crossed the line. Jason having a look up the inside here. Andre seeing him coming, smoothing over, letting him past. Two of them going side by side now. Jason will have the inside here, but Andre is going to have the sweeping line, managing to keep the position. So 20 minutes remaining at the moment. So now we have 20 minutes remaining. Let's have a look at our schedule for the season, or the remainder of the season. So currently we are at round 7 at Tor Poznan in Poland. Next week we'll be at the final round of this season at Laguna in Japan. Of course, we see our Alwin sponsor flying along the top there, so thank you once again to Alwin Automotive Glass for supporting us and sponsoring us and making this all possible. Remember to head over to www.alwin.co.za to inquire about any automotive glass or aluminium that you might require. And of course, if you are enjoying what you're watching, remember to like and subscribe and all of that. Give the thumbs up and all of that. The bell icon to be notified of all upcoming events. We also have a MX-5 Cup coming up shortly. That will be using the Assetto Corsa as a platform. So if you'd like to join that, head over to our Discord and sign up, and then come and join us for that. We do have a practice server up at the moment, so if you guys want to get a feel for it, they can. Right, so Ross Human all over the back of Rian van der Westhuizen at the moment. Of course, this is now for 5th place, because it looks like Chris Collison has got past Rian van der Westhuizen. Currently in 4th place, chasing down Jean-Louis du Toit. So Jean-Louis du Toit, that's, I believe, only his 2nd race with us and already in a podium spot. He had good pace at the previous round, unfortunately didn't get a good result. It wasn't a bad result, but didn't get the podium that he probably would have liked. Only a second between Jean-Louis Dupinot and Jason Underwood, and 3.5 seconds between Jean-Louis du Toit and Jean-Louis Dupinot. Ross Human now on the outside here. Rian's got the nice tight line here. Of course, this is a very tight late apex corner, this. Rian will bring it back nice and late there and get the apex. Head on board with Ross. Perhaps it's a good time to be on board with Ross. On board with Team America. Good view of the track and the flow of the track as well. Deep on the brakes there. You see Herman Nivert and Donnie Stander now. The gap now half a second between them, so it's fluctuating. It was up to almost a second and back down to half a second now. Jean-Louis du Toit is slowly falling back. He's now 4.2 behind, so not able to keep up at the moment. Pace at the front has slowed slightly. The previous lap was a 44.1, which is probably why Jason is caught up, because he had a 43.7 on the previous lap. Fastest lap of the race currently held by Jason Underwood with a 1:43.254. Donnie running slightly wide, not breaking himself there. Hammond saying thank you very much. Hammond picks off yet another driver. So currently Ross Human sitting in 5th place. He has indeed got past Rian and Bjorn Buchner. So quite a nice battle going on here between the 3 of them once again. And this week it looks like Ross is going to be on top. It was looking like Rian was going to be on top, but he's falling back from 5th to 7th currently. Let's see if we can perhaps go on board with Rian here. Look at the back there of Bjorn. Looks like they're pulling away slightly from Rian, so I'm not sure why Rian's struggling so much. Pretty comparable pace. Looks like Rian had a better final corner at least. Bjorn running slightly wide there, lost a bit of momentum. It's allowed Ross to get away, but Rian to catch in. And up the inside here. Close. Ooh, that was very close. About as close as you can get without having contact. As the sun's setting now, you're starting to see a little more of the effect of the sun. Surprising to hear Rian dropping down to second gear there. And most of the other drivers would keep it in third there, losing a bit of momentum by dropping it into into second. Right, so we have a fantastic battle for first and second, a fantastic battle for fifth and sixth and seventh. So past the halfway mark, 12 minutes left of the race. Jason all over the back of Andre here. Andre must be feeling the pressure by now. Jason having a look. Once again, Andre taking the wide line, Jason thinking better of it. Of course, Jason is a ex-real world racer with over 10 years of experience as well. Back when he was in South Africa, he did racing. So our number 1 and number 2 drivers on track currently are two of our real world racers, a rally driver and I'm not sure what Jason raced, I can't remember. But I do know that Jason raced for over 10 years. And also sounding like he's using second gear there, where I would have used third gear. Car bogs down a bit too much if you go down to second. Pretty much never really need second in these cars, just the way that the gearing is, the torque of the motor and just the nature of the gearing. Third gear seems to be the way to go usually. So Jason and Andre side by side there. So we're down to 10 minutes. A third of the race. And we're getting a bit sideways there. The tyre wheel must be kicking in by now. As Jason preserved his tyres a bit better this time. Some of the rounds he's killed his tyres rather quick, so he's I think been learning slightly to look after his tyres a bit better, and it looks like he's definitely giving Andre a bit more a hard time. Andre's rear end all over the show at the moment. Battle still as close as ever. Bjorn now getting quite a nice drift on there. Let's go on board with Rian with the perfect view here. Himself just getting a little bit sideways, pushing the car into the corner, taking the different lines. Let's go back to the front again. Jason looking at the moment. The inside here, Andre, can he make it stick? Nope. Better of it. Very difficult to get a clean pass in these cars. the headlights are blazing at the moment as the sun is setting. 8 minutes remaining. We still have Timo Smith stuck on the embankment also. As we see him here on the embankment. He hasn't given up, although his car doesn't sound like it's driven too hard. It looks like Rian is falling back slightly from Bjorn, so Bjorn currently all over the back of Ross for 5th place, so they're fighting hard for 5th place here. And Jason fighting hard for the win here, so 2 really nice battles going on at the moment. I believe we also have a battle for 8th place between Andre Hildebrandt and Peter Beret, so they're having a nice battle down the field as well. Ooh, Andre getting really sideways there. I'm not sure if Jason would have had enough momentum to get past by this corner. I don't think so. It's a 4th gear corner if we get this right. Into turn 1 as well. There's also a 4th gear corner. Going wide and bring it back to a very, very late apex. Probably managing to keep it a bit neater that time around. Just over 6 minutes between Andre getting his first win of the season or Jason securing his championship lead. Looks like we're both getting a bit of slide on there, but not as bad this time around for Andre. See the back end straight away stepping out and just counter steers it. Slightly wide there for Andre, missing his turning points. Not much that Jason can do about it at that part of the track. This particular corner is quite tricky. If you turn in a little bit too early, you get a little bit too much slide, you lose a lot of momentum. Let's have a look at the battle behind them. So Ross once again ducks his back with Bjorn. Just over 5 minutes remaining. Andre Hildebrandt and Peter Murray battle also extremely close at the moment. There seemingly 3 pretty close battles, mind you. There's also another close battle behind in 10th place and 11th place between Herman and Donnie Stander. I feel kind of robbed that team, unfortunately, having got beached on the part of the track there. It would have been a nice 3-way battle for the lead, hopefully. Most likely, I should say. Andre running extremely wide there now. Can Jason finally take advantage of it? It looks like he can't. I don't think he's got enough momentum. Backing out of it there. He's got a little bit of a run on Yonder, but I don't think he's going to go for the move here now. Thought about it. But Yonder had him covered. Yonder going defensive very quickly there. fantastic battle here between Andre Duppenau and Jason Underwood for first place. Just over a tenth between them for the last few laps now. And hello to Morris on Vake in the comments. Hope you're feeling a bit better. At least you're enjoying a good close race here at the front, as you say. Good to have you with us, Morris. It would be better if you were on track, but I'd rather you getting better and feel better and join us next week, hopefully for the final round of the series. So Ren van der Weste, without me realizing, has actually worked his way back up into 5th place. So Bjorn Buchner and Ross Human are now 6th and 7th. Of course, still having quite a close battle as well. And Ross is now starting to pull away slightly from Bjorn in the last corner or two. And Ross running wide there. But Bjorn not able to capitalise. I don't think Ross lost enough time for Bjorn to capitalise. Right, let's head back to the front and see what's happening with Jason. He's all over the back of Andre for the last half of the race, but doesn't seem to be able to get close enough to make a move. He stuck his nose there a few times, but he knows better of it than to stick his nose where it doesn't belong. And Andre is just putting his foot down, taking the defensive line, just keeping it where he needs to keep it to stop Jason being able to get past. Jason just looking to the side there, just playing around with Yandre a bit, making sure Yandre sees him in his nose, put him under a bit of pressure, and create a move just like that. And he has finally got past. Has Yandre got anything to answer back? This might be the final lap. If they can get to the line before 30 seconds, it will be the final lap, but if they cross the line, there will be one more lap. Looks like they will have one more lap. So, does Yandre have anything to answer? It's now or never. Looks like Jason's pulling a bit of a gap on him though. So Yandre's had the pace throughout the race, but just can't keep up with Jason at the moment. Looks like Yandre's tyres, his rear tyres certainly look like they're shot. So I believe further down the field we have a few of the drivers heading closer to the line now. So the Ross Human Bjorn Buchner battle, I believe, has come to an end. And Bjorn Buchner has finished 7th, Ross Human in 6th place, and Rian van der Weste is taking a fantastic 5th place. It's a solid race for Rian. Andre Hildebrand coming home solid in 8th place as well. Well, about to cross the line. Let's head back across the line with the current championship leader and race leader at the moment. Yandre's managed to actually keep it fairly close, but I don't think he's got enough to catch in the last sector. He would have to have a pretty sublime final sector to catch and pass. I believe the race is Jason Underwood's. Ooh, Under running. Why will he avoid the barrier? He does. That could have been a disaster. So Jason Underwood taking the win from Yandre Duppenau. What a fantastic race between the two of them. Yandre de Toy taking a solid 3rd place as well. Fantastic result. Chris Collison, a surprise 4th place for Chris. I would have thought Chris would have had more pace in him today. And I believe that's it. Dani Stander taking the final points position. Mind you, they haven't yet crossed the line. But Dani and Herman are still going at it. Let's stay on board with him. Herman running slightly wide there can Can Donnie pinch the last place from him? Two of them having a good battle here throughout the field. Hammond will be able to hold off Donnie for 10th place. Donnie will get 11th place. I believe that's the end, and of course we see Timo still stuck there. He never abandoned his car, he's stuck with it. So perhaps while we have that on screen we can just do a recap of a championship before we do an update to it. So our championship standings at the moment, we have Jason Underwood in first place from Mika Abrams, from Chris Collison, from Jandre Dippenaar, Timo Smit, Herman Nivert, Andre Hildebrandt, Ross Human, Bjorn Bruckner and Peter Geldernes. Of course we will now have round 7 updated, and next week we will have our final round of the championship, which will of course be Suzuka West in Japan. Of course that's the very well known Suzuka Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit. The Suzuka West part of it though, also a fantastic circuit. This is the Suzuka West that has the chicane in it, so it's quite a challenging and fun track to drive. Great round for the final round of the championship. So who will be crowned champion? From the looks of things it will be Jason Underwood, but anything can happen. We will see at the final round of the championship. Let's see how the outcome turns out. As the drivers head back into the pits, we will head to an ad break and see if we can find some of the drivers and be back with you for some interviews. We will catch you shortly. Alright, we are live. Welcome everyone. We have our top 3 drivers with us at the moment, which of course is Jason Underwood, our race winner, Jandre Dippenaar, our second place, who unfortunately lost the lead of the race on the final lap. What a time to lose the lead. And Jandre de Toy, fantastic third place. Welcome to your first podium with some experience. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's start with Yandre. Yandre, you had a fantastic race. You led 99% of the race. You had Jason on your tail pretty much the whole time, giving you a hard time. It looks like your tires are pretty shot from about the halfway mark, and you lost the lead right near the end. How was the race from your point of view?
Yeah, it was quite hectic in front. Jason put a lot of pressure on me. Yeah, and the tires went around about 3/4 into the race. I could have felt that the tires was not what it's supposed to be. Yeah, and the best man won the race.
Yeah, that was a fantastic race to watch. And then, speaking of the best man, Jason, fantastic result. You were really patient. You waited for the perfect opportunity, and when Yandre just ran that fraction a little bit wide, you pounced and you just took it with both hands. So congratulations on the win. Give us it from your point of view.
Yeah, well, firstly, congratulations to Andre. That was one hell of a race. I think he's got a V8 in his car because I couldn't get him on the straights, and it was just hard work, man. It was proper hard work, but it was a good race. Nice, fair, clean, and yeah, just a lot of respect shown between us two. But man, the boy can drive, and I had to work hard for that. But yeah, I mean, any one of us should have won that race. Both deserve to win it. So fair play to him, and yeah, we go on to the next one.
Yeah, you guys had some nice side by sides. Quite often there, you head up the inside, and then Yandre would give you a bit of space. You come out nicely side by side, and yeah, it was good to see some nice clean racing there. And then Yandre, fantastic third place, your first podium with us, as I've alluded to already. How was the race from your point of view? At the start, it looked like you were going to hang in there with the top three. Then you seemed to sort of lose them slightly, and then you inherited third place in the end.
Yeah, I think I got pretty lucky with Chris and Timo spinning out. Then I just had to stay consistent. I knew I couldn't catch the top two because they were a bit too fast for me. But I just had to stay consistent, not spin out. So then I knew I can get top three easily.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened to Timo. I just saw that he had got his car stuck on the embankment. So I didn't actually see what happened there. So was there actually an incident between the two, or did they just both have a moment?
I believe Chris got hit from the back and he spun out. But Timo spun out on his own. Not sure what happened.
All right, okay. We'll probably have a look at that and just see what happened at a later stage. But yeah, Timo definitely tried to salvage his car for a few laps, but eventually just abandoned it. But in the end, it was a great race to watch. There were some really good battles throughout the field. The battle for first, the battle for fifth place, which was a fantastic battle as well. And then the battle for, I believe, 9th and 10th place was also quite exciting. So lots of close battles. The track definitely producing some good close racing. Certainly not the easiest of tracks to pass on, though.
Yeah, sure.
So for the next round and the final round of Season 1, we head over to Suzuka West. Do any of you drivers have any experience at Suzuka West?
No.
I think we raced there with the TCRs, Jason.
Okay, yeah.
Dennis.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was Suzuka West. I know we did some Japanese tracks, but I don't believe it was Suzuka West.
Okay, then I don't know.
But basically, it's half of Suzuka circuit. It's fantastic. It's the flowing part of Suzuka, so it should be a great challenge with these cars. There's an added chicane in there, so it's good fun. Gives a bit of a opportunity to pass, and I think you guys will enjoy it. And it's going to be a good spectacle. Interesting to see who's going to take the championship. It looks like Chris is currently the only guy, I believe, that can challenge Jason, unless Jason has an incident in the final one. And if he does, then I guess, Yandre, you would be the next guy to challenge for the championship, because I believe at the moment, if I look at the championship points, Yandre, you're now in third place on 221. Chris is on 237 in second place. And Jason, you're now on 280 in first place.
Nice.
So barring any serious incident, Jason, you've pretty much wrapped up the championship with a potential of 51 points for a win. Unless you have a really bad round at the next round, you should have the championship in hand.
Yeah, but we all know, being in the game for so long, motorsport is a funny old game. You never know what happens. So,
in the words of the great Murray Walker, anything can happen, and usually does.
Exactly. So going to the next one, 0-0 on points, and yeah, we just go again.
All right, then I'm going to round it off from there. I'm going to say thank you guys very much and well done on your fantastic races. I am
Thank
going
you very
to
much, boys.
say
Thank you.
thank you to everyone else as well. Would you guys like to do a shout out? I haven't done shout out, sorry. Jason, let's start with you. A shout out to anyone?
Yes. First of all, the top three. I think very well done there. To all the 4 above supporters across the country and in South Africa, my family's all back there rooting. So thank you very much. And yeah, stay tuned for next week.
All right, I see the other 2 drivers have left us, so I guess they didn't want to do any shout outs. So I will leave it there and say thanks to everyone, and thanks for everyone that joined us. Remember to like and subscribe, and we will catch you all at the next round next week from Suzuka West. Good evening.